or that the consistency of the soil. You know, there's some tight sections over here. It's really fast around the first turn in the start area. Bottom line is the gloves are off. These riders are going for it. I know they say it's a marathon, but I'm telling you, every one of these riders on the line wants to win here tonight at A1.
This is where you make the statement. Jake Weimer mentioned that in the lights class. Well, you know, Stewart-Reed, Villapoto, Wyndham, and the rest are all thinking the same thing about this main event right here. Make your statement right now. Stewart, who makes the first statement as he gets the whole shot, but Josh Grant is right there with him on the 33.
Reed's third.
Chad Reed is on the number 1. And Stewart starts to pull away as Grant and Reed stack up in the turn. James Stewart is undefeated so far on this Yamaha, and he doesn't want to stop that streak anytime soon.
Reed needs to get past Grant. He can't mess around with Grant. He has to get past him, focus on James Stewart, and not let him get away.
He did.
There he is.
He's past him.
There he is.
The Rockstar Makita Suzuki rider is now past Grant and sets after Stewart. And Jeff, we saw these two riders go head-to-head twice last year. Here in Anaheim, where Reed beat Stewart, and then in Phoenix, where Stewart beat Reed and then disappeared due to his knee injury.
Stewart makes a mistake.
Oh, he sure did.
Reed closes the gap. Is this one of that battle? Is this where Reed gets it back? Stewart takes it back like the Bailey Johnson days, the Bailey Ward days.
1986, they say, was the greatest Supercross race of all time. And it took place here. Maybe we're about to see another epic one.
Hey, the way that the track is shaped up, and just the way that that feeling that we have in the air here tonight, the excitement of the crowd, we all have the best seat in the house. We are here. Next best seat, live on speed. There it is.
And Reed is really making some moves going into the corners. And Stewart getting a great drive out.
Look at that triple quad into a main triple.
And Reed is matching him. Jeff, he's not having any problems.
To the inside.
Here comes Reed up the inside, and we've got a change for the lead. And boy, you can hear the reaction from this packed Anaheim crowd. And remember, James Stewart is on Reed's bike from last year that he won the championship with. And Reed is riding for the team that Ricky Carmichael beat him with.
Not too many riders make passes on James Stewart, and Reed absolutely is flying right now. He's got some fantastic lines on the track.
That was Mike Gosler. That was Ricky Carmichael's old mechanic, who is now Reed's mechanic.
So now is the experience that Suzuki has given Chad Reed with Gosler, the leadership of Roger DeCoster.
Here's
Is that what he needs?
Villapoto had a bad start. He's in 9th. He's battling with Tedesco right now on number 9. Tedesco on the factory Honda. And there's Tim Berry just in front of him, his teammate. That's Villapoto's teammate.
So Villapoto trying to pick his way through here. You can see him going double, 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 single there. That is not the fast line. He's going to have to pick it up. Oh, now he goes down. Now he really has
down. He's really got to get going now.
Uh-oh, did he? Let's see if this fuel-injected Kawasaki starts quickly. It does. That's one of the advantages now with the 3 machines that have fuel injection, is that they start very easy compared to the carbureted machine.
450's notoriously tough to restart once they get hot, but that's the carbureted version. KTM and Yamaha still running the carbureted version. Suzuki, Kawasaki, and Honda all fuel injected now.
Here's the replay. You see Villapoto just go in, grab a little too much front brake, some of that loose dirt, and look at the gap that Chad Reed has on James Stewart.
Wow.
1.8 seconds at the stripe.
Jeff,
and Reed is
huge.
solid.
That is huge. Let's see where it's at now as they come across the line. 1.4. Stewart not done. Josh Grant still holding 3rd to the Joe Gibbs Toyota backed Yamaha team.
And remember, James Stewart is trained by Alden Baker, legendary trainer of World MotoGP champion Nicky Hayden, and of course Ricky Carmichael.
There's
the experience that he brings.
There's Grant on the 33. Could you imagine? We talked about how everybody has been saying this Gibbs team has everything they need except for the right riding talent. What a boost this would be for team owner Coy Gibbs and team manager Jeremy Albrecht if they could pull this off and get on the podium tonight.
Well, remember last year they just had so many problems with the riders, injuries, everything. But now they, in the off season, when they hired Josh Grant, they said we're going to give him the chance. We believe in him, and it's been a great off season with the training and the testing. Jeremy Albrecht and the guys there have been very happy with it, and now they're showing the results here. This is where all the hard work pays off. Evidently, they have a good program.
And Kevin Windham has bounced back from his heat race. He didn't look very good in the heat. He's running fourth now. And look at Stewart come flying through that section, Jeff.
It's tight now. Stewart back on the gas. He's reeling in Chad Reed.
Boy, Aaron, Chad Reed looks awful strong, though.
Chad Reed definitely does. If you're wondering what happened to him in his heat race, I'd asked him. He got tangled up in the very first corner with his teammate, number 800 of Michael Lessie. Ended up getting his brake lever stuck, or pardon me, his gear stuck in second gear. He wasn't able to get it under there for quite some time. He said after enough time, he finally was able to push it out. Back he went.
Stewart came flying into that corner, Jeff, and he almost catastrophically crashed.
Well, he's doing a triple in that tight section. And Stewart almost made a huge mistake in turn. He missed the rear brake and just come flying around the turn. Some skill that only James Stewart has to be able to pull off those type of moves.
Here he comes back looking to the inside. Reed knows he's got a battle on his hands, but he's used to fighting with Stewart.
There he is.
These two have become big rivals, and Stewart-Reed takes the lead. By the Anaheim crowd getting into this one. Reed starting to come right back on him. Through the sand they go. There's the mechanics area. Cheering him on. And Reed's old mechanic cheers on his rival now.
Just incredible. Oh, he's down.
He's both down. They got together. They're both down. And Stewart is down hard. He's dazed. He's having trouble getting up. Here comes Grant. Grant's going to take the lead away. Stewart is now trying to get to his feet. Here comes Windham. Reed is underway. Windham goes down. Windham gets into Stewart. And here goes Short. Stewart just cannot figure out what to go. Tim Ferry goes by. You can see the eyes of James Stewart. He's struggling. He's trying to find out where is he. Trying to get this fight going and get back in the race. Meanwhile, the positions and the points are slipping away. Oh, what a heartbreaking turn of events for James Stewart. He's been undefeated on this Yamaha, and now it won't restart. He's still dazed.
James Stewart got hit from behind. Here's the replay, Ralph. You see as they come out of the turn, Reed comes by on the left and clips the back of James Stewart. Watch Stewart smack the ground. Stewart took a very hard hit to the head. Watch here, watch his body as it goes limp. Focus on Stewart's helmet right here. Right into the face of that whoop.
That is a hard impact.
You know what happened? They came out of the turn. Stewart had a slight delay. He slowed up just a second, and that's why Reed hit the back of him, took them both down.
And he's still out of it. He cannot get that Yamaha to restart. Remember, that's one of the carbureted bikes, Jeff, and we talked about how hard it is to restart the 450s. The carbureted tougher than the fuel injected.
Well, and now if we go to the leader, here's another one of the carbureted Yamahas that is performing awesome here tonight from Riverside, California. Josh Grant, one of the local boys in his opening Supercross ride. Remember, he was a lights rider last year, is out leading the biggest race of his career.
This team lost their sponsor just a few weeks ago. They came into this race with the support of Toyota that they've had in the past in Yamaha, helping them out. The Gibbs team, they said if we get the right rider, we can do some serious stuff in this series, and they might pull off the biggest win of the season by winning Anaheim 1.
This is incredible. Did I tell you A1 was going to be up the hook?
It always is. It always is. Incredible. He's got a 10.5-second lead over Andrew Short, and if Short could finish second, what a huge shot in the arm for the Red Bull Honda team, who has been dealing with injuries over the last 2 years, and they could be on the podium here.
Well, Short, his short-term goals, his goal for this season.
Look at James Stewart, the long walk back to the truck.
Just incredible. Short-term goal, win a race, win my first Supercross main event. He's 11 seconds back on Grant. Grant is absolutely flying right now. Last lap of 102.4, the fastest lap right now. So not only is he leading, but Josh Grant is pulling away.
Here is Short. By the way, his Honda stablemate, Kevin Windham, who looked like he was going to get a great advantage with the problems with Reed and Stewart. He got going again, but he's back in 16th. Reed now running in third. Could be a big points advantage for Reed in this championship.
Ralph, I have to catch my breath for a second, okay?
Well, and Jeff,
they say
if you're going to win the championship, you have to minimize your mistakes. And if Reed can hold on to third here tonight, that's what he's doing, and a big step towards the championship.
And it would be huge. And keep in mind,
Aaron, you've got James Stewart?
Yeah, guys, James Stewart is obviously extremely upset, probably a little dazed and confused. James, can you tell us what happened out there?
Crash.
We know that Chad Reed clipped your back tire. Did you have a slight delay?
Yeah, you know, it's not anybody's fault. Just had a bad mistake. Stupid on my part.
Racing, guys. This is the battle of a lifetime here at Anaheim 1.
Boy, you can see the intensity, just fuming.
He's that way because he's put in the work. Has the dedication. He knows he made a slight mistake coming out of that turn.
That's team manager Larry Brooks, by the way, former Supercross star in his own right. And that's Big James, James Stewart's father, talking things over with their star rider.
He's very disappointed.
Well, now
very
they got to get
himself.
refocused and ready for Chase Field. It's 7 days away, and they can't lose any more points.
Hey, Ricky Carmichael crashed out of the first race. I can't remember the year.
Yeah.
Came back to win the championship. It can't be done.
Here's Tedesco having a tremendous night on the number 9 Honda. He's battling with Reed. Reed trying to hold on for points. Tedesco trying to prove he's back and closing in as well. You see the green machine of Tim Ferry having a great night for Kawasaki factory team running in the top 5. His teammate Villapoto back in 7th.
So Red Dog, the old dog, putting it down here tonight at A1 with the experience, a solid program that year after year, Timmy Ferry is always there, always comes through the pack. Now he's working his way up to Tedesco, up to possibly Reed for third, and a spot on the podium.
The thing about Tim Ferry is it doesn't matter where he is at the end of the first turn. He'll tell you himself, his start's not his best part of his race. But boy, when it comes to fitness and getting through the race, he will be there before this thing is done.
There's no doubt about it. Reed needs to pick it up. There could possibly be something on the Reed's bike that's bent, probably because that was a pretty hard crash for those guys, because Reed's off the pace right now. He's a couple seconds off of our leader, Josh Grant, who's just absolutely flying. And you take a look at the box up there, Team San Manuel Yamaha guys.
The Brain Trust is still discussing it and how they're going to go about practicing this week and getting ready for Chase Field just 7 days from today. Boy, the folks in Phoenix are going to see a great one because, you know, James Stewart's going to come out loaded, ready to go.
So for Josh Grant, what has to be happening going through his mind? This is the race of his life.
Well, but you still got to finish it. He's got an 11.8-second lead over Short. But, Jeff, this is Supercross, and just when you think things are in your hands, boy, they can deal you some crazy cards and yank the rug out from underneath you.
I'm telling you, as the laps wear on, the nerves will start to set in. That's when he has to fight off. He knows he can do it. Remember, I said he can turn his fastest lap out there as anyone. Can he put it together for 20? He's been given a little gift here, okay? But he also is in the position to take advantage of that, to win his first Supercross main event in his first attempt.
Let's go back and take a look at the Progressive Direct Hold Shot replay since we got underway.
We'll focus on our champion, number 1. He gets out of the gate. Good start, but it was 33. Josh Grant there to the inside, but number 7, James Stewart sneaks by with the Progressive Hold Shot. Great way to start it, but it has ended in a very sour way for James Stewart.
Jeff, in every conversation you and I have had about this season, preparing for this season, we've always talked about the top four. But you and I both have said Josh Grant's the sleeper in this whole thing.
Definitely. He's on a solid team right now. It's his time to mature, to step up. This is what he's been training his whole life for. This is just an incredible ride that Josh Grant is putting on. Have my fingers crossed for him that he can finish this just over 6 laps to go.
And not just for Josh, but for Coy Gibbs and Jeremy Albrecht. Watch those two guys. Been over to the shop at Gibbs Racing in Huntersville, North Carolina. Watch Coy Gibbs building pit boxes for the team. Everybody getting involved, getting this program ready to go racing. And here they are, everybody pulling their weight. And they might just steal one away from the biggest names in the sport. The fight here between Tedesco and Ferry continues. Ferry with the advantage right now. 6 laps to go.
Tedesco putting in a phenomenal ride. He has had some tough times here since he stepped up from being lights champion up into the big boy class. Now, tonight, Ivan Tedesco really has put together a solid ride, running 5th place. Has to be happy with that.
Told me earlier today, I've done the homework. I'm ready to go. I just got to see if my homework was right. Apparently it was, Jeff. He is really competitive here.
And his teammate Millsap's back in 12th. Wyndham, another Honda rider's 15th.
And Villopoto, Ferry's teammate, has worked his way up to 6th. Here's Ryan. He won his heat race, Jeff. What does he take away from this if he can finish here in 6th or maybe better it into a top 5?
Well, it's experience. I mean, look back to 1993 with Jeremy McGrath. In his first 2 rounds, he did not win. He won his 3rd round in his way, on his way to winning the championship with 10 wins. So you can't win it here tonight, but you sure can lose it, right?
Without question. Without question. And even though you might quickly say, well, maybe that's what's happened to James Stewart, don't be too quick to judge that, because we do know that the drama and the roller coaster ride that is Supercross, last year, a perfect example. We all thought Stewart was the guy to beat. 2 races in, he was gone. Then we all thought Chad Reed was just going to be handed the championship. And Kevin Wyndham took him all the way to Vegas before it was said and done.
This is a crazy sport that we're in here, and there's just so much that can happen. From the track, the motorcycles, all of the competition, that it's just bar-to-bar racing, and how the track conditions change. It's so difficult. And this season, there just seems to be a lot of desire. There's not the feeling that any of the riders are settling into their position. They all want to be up on the podium. They all want to be winning races. We're seeing that tonight with Josh Grant, number 33, Toyota Yamaha, out here leading his first Supercross race of his career.
And not a factory team, a factory-supported team. A bit of a difference for all intents and purposes. A lot of the factory components that everybody else has, but still a bit of a difference.
Well, yeah, but and keep in mind, the San Manuel Yamaha team, the Stewart rides for, is a factory-supported team. Not quite sure how the parts selection and the support is between the two, but Yamaha has always been very generous and open to the idea of teams coming in with their own sponsors and putting more Yamahas on the track. And right now, it's definitely working to their advantage. Here's the replay.
A look at what happened between Reed and Stewart.
Stewart made a slight mistake. You see a little delay just as he comes out. Reed definitely was not anticipating that.
And then Wyndham right into Stewart as Stewart tried to get off the track.
Wow, so unfortunate for Kevin Wyndham, too. Stewart wasn't looking to his left. He was trying to get out of the main line. Kevin was going down the left, which definitely was not the main line. Kevin was trying to sneak by. He was trying to get by there before Stewart and just caught that right foot peg on the front tire.
And you could see James was dazed when he got it. He took a hard shot in his head into the dirt. Wyndham now up to 15.
Okay, Ralph. Here's Josh Grant working his way through the lap riders. This is where it gets difficult. Josh Grant just got taken out of his rhythm through that tight tabletop section. Right now, he can't do the rhythm that he wants to through here. Well, yeah, sure he does. The lap riders have got to get out of the way. A rider like Josh Grant, he's going to be nervous enough trying to finish this thing off with just over 2 laps to go.
Cole Siebler right in front of him on the number 79.
Oh, he's got a tough block on his...
Oh, he sure does. Like
It's
we
on the
said,
brake side. It's on the brake
over.
side.
Now, what is that going to do to him, Jeff?
If he loses the rear brake, oh, that is wrapped around the right side.
Oh, no.
No way.
Oh, no. Now,
Unbelievable.
now the wheel is still turning.
Does he
it's
have a rear
chewing it
brake?
up.
No, he does not
he
have
does
a rear
not.
brake.
Now, how does he ride with this? He's got a 12-second lead.
He has to go for it. He has to know that he has no rear brake. He cannot let up.
How does he compensate for it? What does he
Has to
do?
use the front brake. He's got a good lead. He's got 12 seconds with a lap and a half to go. He has to be very careful going into the turns here. This will be incredible if he can pull this off.
How does he change his riding style to compensate? Using
right
the front
there, he
brake.
almost went high.
How does it make him affect his riding style, Jeff, the way he approaches the turns?
He has to only use the front brake. He has to see he's doubling through here. This is where the 13-second lead and all of those hard laps that Josh Grant put in route to this. He's coming up to the white flag. Can he hold on?
Boy, look at the smoke pouring off that thing. There's the white flag. What a final lap we've got. Grant with the tough block wrapper. Caught up on that rear wheel. 7.5 seconds between Grant and Short to the checkered flag, and either one of them looking for their first ever Supercross win.
Short just cut Grant's lead in half in 1 lap. Is this going to be enough for Josh Grant to hold on? His mechanic, Alex Ewing, right there, 7.5 gap. This is what you have to keep to the finish.
And Andrew Short can smell his first win as well, and he can see the problems in front of him with Grant. Or if he can catch him, he can take the win away. Or Josh Grant is going to pick off one of the most unbelievable victories in Anaheim history. Josh Grant goes to the Joe Gibbs Racing Team. He's celebrating, but he's not there just yet. The checkered flag awaiting. Josh Grant and Joe Gibbs Racing both looking for their first Supercross wins. Here it is, the checkered flag. An incredible win for Josh Grant and the Joe Gibbs Toyota Yamaha team as they steal one away here in Anaheim 1. An amazing performance by this new team.
Can you believe that the California native comes out in his opening Supercross, defies the odd tough block cover plastic on the rear brake, and he manages to keep it together for 2 laps to win his first Supercross?